120.5 pounds. He comes to us tonight from Russia. His professional record, 5-1 with 1 KO to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, Evgeny Novоселов.
And there's Evgeny Novоселov from Russia.
Across the ring, fighting out
having his 7th pro fight.
Wearing the purple trunks with white trim, weighing 120.25 pounds. From Fort Worth, Texas, undefeated. His record 3-0, 2 KOs. Introducing Poli Ayyala.
And there's Poli Ayyala from Fort Worth in Texas, looking for his 4th straight win. And I must say thank you very much for all of your letters I've received recently, which I'll get to as the show progresses, and also let you know who won that particular question I set just last week regarding Henry Armstrong. And a few others, of course. So this one's scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds. Evgeny Novoselov, well, I'm going to say Novochelov, in fact, against Poli Ayyala. Novochelov, the Russian, in the green. And Ayala, southpaw. And of course, we've been very used to the Russians in the Eastern Bloc, and all the Eastern Bloc fights, in fact, boxing in a very kind of stoic way, straight up back, and taking time to shake off their old amateur habits. No problems of that sort, of course, for Ayala. Nice little boxer. And much more mobile. Of course, the old thing with Eastern Bloc fighters is to extend their jab, the leading hand, and try and pop over a mighty cross. But I think us Westerners got used to that in the end. 5 wins, just 1 loss so far, showing for Novochelov. And he fancies himself as a puncher, putting quite a bit into those hooks, although they're not landing. Oops, it's a slip. It's a slip. Ayala much more relaxed. I would say that Novochelov at this point looks like a coiled spring, doesn't he? Trying to get that big punch across. But don't forget, of course, big punches are no good unless they land. A couple of hooks there coming from Ayala. And again, good shots. Novochelov took them well, though. A minute to go then in round 1. Of course, the right cross has always been a good punch against the southpaw, and more notably, I would think, the left hook. The same, of course, applies the other way round, the left cross from Ayala, which he scored with then. And, of course, the right hook over the top of that low-slung left hand of Novochelov. Half a minute to go in round 1. Ayala, of course, defending that 3-fight unbeaten record.
Break!
And there's not been a great deal so far in the opening round. I think possibly Ayala's just got the slightest edge. So the end of round 1, let's give that one to Ayala. And I must thank you for your letters, as I said before. One from Colin Mitchell in Blackpool. Thank you, Colin. And the answer to your first question is no. And the answer to your second one is I hope to have some in the near future. I don't think video was invented when I was fighting back in the 70s. It wasn't good and you had to get on the TV either, so there you go. Round 2 then of the scheduled 6-round featherweight contest. That's a very competitive match.
Break!
Featherweight 9 stones. He's still, in fact, quite a way inside that. At about 8 stone 10, 11. So almost good bantamweight. Nice right hook coming from Ayala. Novoselov there, just inspecting his forehead, possibly thinking he got a cut from a little clash. But I don't see any blood. Left hand coming from Novoselov then, just as Ayala ducked on the inside.
Right.
So far, this is a much more even second round, with Ayala just stealing a lead in the first, I thought. Novoselov realising that Ayala's here, and he's putting his punches together, so he's going to have to try and match him. This might just be a close one. The venue, in case you're interested, is the Villa Roma Country Club in Callicoon, New York. So Ayala, some way from home, but not quite as far as Novoselov. Novoselov not following in with his feet. Consequently, those punches just fell short. So he looks like a counter puncher, I would say.
Right.
Yes, it looks like Novoselov has assumed the counter puncher's role. He's going to have to make Ayala make mistakes. No point waiting for him. Switch to southpaw for a second then from the Russian, but to no avail. Another round, I believe, for Ayala. And we've got a lovely letter from Betty Esme James, who works for NVAC in Newport, in Gwent, down in South Wales. Thanks a lot, Bet, really appreciate it. And like Colin Mitchell, no, there's no fight to me, I'm afraid, or as I was glad to say. And yes, I'll try and get some picks done. Round 3. Nice left hand coming from Ayala to start this one. Looking to try and intimidate Novoselov here. Some good punches too. And wrestle to the floor. You often see the odd mix-up with the feet between the southpaw and an orthodox fighter. Don't forget their front foot is likely to clash and tread on each other's toes. Ayala, of course, doing the right thing, moving to his own right and nullifying the right cross of the Russian. And at the same time, just slipped to his left and crashed in the left cross. It looks like Novoselov can take a wallop. And the speed of Ayala might just be Novoselov's downfall. Again, a nice variety of punch coming from Ayala. Head and body. Of course, there used to be about 10 years ago quite a few fighting Ayalas, all from the same family. And again, that lovely short left cross from Ayala. Well, I agree with Alpha Bernstein for once. I've got to Ayala taking the first couple of rounds as well, although close. Don't forget, this is scored by 3 ringside judges, but I prefer you to make up your own minds as to who's winning. You, like I, have got no political capital to make on whoever we think is winning. Not that I'm saying the judges, of course, are influenced. Any other word you care to use? And now Novoselov looking a bit hesitant. Nice punches again from Ayala. I wonder how much English that Novoselov can speak. Not long been since these Eastern Bloc countries have been inducted into Western boxing. Don't forget, they never were able to box for pay in the old regime. All that's gone now, of course. And Ayala looking very useful. It's only his 4th pro fight. Only number 7, of course, for Novoselov. Well, that's not a bad round once again for Ayala. He just seems to be a puncher. Those fighters then ignoring the break, but Sheffield has been allowed it to go.
Right.
Ayala being just a bit too tricky at the moment for Novoselov.
Right.
Take a forearm up the throat for his pains. And a nice little movement from Ayala. Look at the bend of the knees there, and Novoselov failed to connect. And now Novoselov has run out of ideas, I would say. Almost running out of room as well. Don't forget that old saying, of course, you can run but you can't hide. Nice right cross then from the Russian. He takes a good right hook back. It's a nice balanced performance so far from Ayala. Not over till it's over though. There's 2 more after this.
Right.
Some good punches from Ayala in this round. In fact, this is probably the most dominant he's been so far in this contest, with, as I say, Novoselov running out of ideas. That's a good round. That's 4 on the spin for Poli Ayala on my card. Yeah, back to that competition about Henry Armstrong. And there's a very good reason for resetting it, of course. Jeffrey Haywood Dobson from Mid Glamorgan. Thank you, Jeffrey. You got everything right, of course. As did Mr. McClellan of Brandl's home in Bury in Lancashire. Homicide Hank. And do you know what? He made 5 defences of his World Welterweight Championship in a period of 21 days, in case you didn't know. And who would believe it? Exactly 3 weeks in October 1939, from the 9th to the 30th. And he won them all, and they were all against the leading contender, Henry Armstrong. Nice letter from Brent Hicks in Cowes on the Isle of Wight. And he was quite right in pointing out that Henry Armstrong was the only man in history to hold world championships, 3 of them, simultaneously at different weights, and nearly won a 4th, the middleweight crown, beaten by Severino Garcia in March of 1940. Sorry, my apologies, drew with Garcia for the middleweight crown. And he was featherweight champion, lightweight champion, and welterweight champion. Won the featherweight title at 9 stone, then moved up, won the welterweight title at 10 stone 7, then down for the 9 stone 9 lightweight title. What a man! And I think Novoselov's Frustration has been compounded. Now he's switched round to south. Well, no, apologies. He might be as well switching round to southpaw. Just to try and confuse Ayala, if nothing else. One thing for sure, though, Novoselov will still be looking for that big right hand. But I must admit, I think Novoselov's left hook looks a bit weak. It was okay in the first round when it failed to land, in fact, but now he's throwing it rather weakly. And you do need a good left hook to deal with the southpaw.
Right. Watch out. Go.
Nice little shift of the head from Ayala. Setting that punch whiz past his ear. That's the way to do it. Oh, good left cross. Well measured. Well, once again, a round in which Novoselov has tried, but been frustrated at almost every turn. So that one again for Paul Ayala. And back to your letters. Nice one from Doris White in Walton in Liverpool. Of course, you got it spot on, Doris. Nice to see you all adding a bit of extra information as well. Like Doris says, Henry Armstrong gained his 3 World Championships in a space of 10 months. With a record at the finish of 152 wins, 100 inside the limit, 8 draws and only 21 losses. This is the 6th and final round of this featherweight contest. Evgeny Novoselov against Paul Ayala in the blue. And so far, on my card anyway, Novoselov has yet to win a round. Trying hard. Of course, when you see a man not winning rounds, you just hope that he will, as a matter by way of consolation sometimes.
Punch out.
So 2.5 minutes to go there for Novoselov to find the big punch he's been looking for. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Ayala moving up the ratings after this. And of course continuing his march from Fort Worth in Texas. So keep an eye out for him. Looks pretty useful. It looks like he's heading to his 4th straight win.
Punch out. Punch out. Right. Right. Punch out.
Well, at this point, it wouldn't seem as if Ayala was trying anything too dramatic. He's quite happy to retain this lead that he obviously believes he's got. Oh, good right cross, that one. Sorry, right hook from Ayala. Anywhere will do as far as Novoselov is concerned. And it's fast approaching the point where Novoselov can't win this. Oh, nice left hook. And we're at that point now. Looks like Ayala's going to head for a pretty clear-cut, decisive points win. But I must admit, Novoselov has fought very hard here, and he's made Ayala think all the way. So that looks like fight and win number 4 for Paul Ayala. And as we wait this decision, back to Doris White's letter. She reminds us that Henry Armstrong changed his name from Jackson to Armstrong, and was managed by a guy called Eddie Reed, an old pal of Al Jolson. So, as I say, all this extra information, keep it coming. One more letter to go. And that's from Mr. Ricky Porter, former world-class welterweight down in Swindon. I think they'll have to call this the Ricky Porter show very soon if Ricky keeps sending these in. Lovely left cross there in the replay. And I've got another competition for you before the end of the programme. And there's going to be a prize, I'm glad to say. I've got 20 copies of the Independent World Boxing Rankings, courtesy of Adrian, for the first 20 correct answers. So, Ayala, I think that corner's pretty confident that he's got it. And there's Don Curry, of course.
All three judges, Sid Rubenstein,
Trainer.
Don Ackerman and Don Nodeker scored about 60 to 54.
Well, it's 6-0 rounds for Ayala, but a good effort there, I think, for Novoselov. Stay with us for our main event tonight featuring Donald Stokes.